too much Stranger Things.
Oh yeah.
You hallucinate. So how's everybody doing? What's new? You bought what?
Played Pokemon Go.
Oh, nice. Excellent. The Trixie? At a merch table? A Trixie what? Nice. Ooh, that's a good one. She's gorgeous. Well, it's a sort of a smaller panel today, so I thought it was kind of weird for me to like hide in the back and then announce me. Like, hi guys! And so I thought I'd just sit here as you all came in. Shall we? It's going to be an informal chat today.
Hey.
Do you have any questions to start me off, Tony, or should we just take questions from these guys? Yeah, anybody have a question? Or something they want to say? Hi.
Hello, Gala.
Hi.
So, correct me if I'm wrong, you haven't done anything, you haven't done anything prior to Starlight Glimmer on the Friendship is Magic show?
That's right.
Right. So, I have to ask, what was the process of them first picking someone to do Starlight Glimmer and how it ended up being you?
Well, like all characters on the show, they hold auditions, and so I've auditioned for lots of roles on the show, including the main 6. So, yeah, so 4 years of auditioning.
And now you're basically your own main 6.
They finally gave me something,
7.
which shows you how persistent you have to be as an actor. That's very par for the course when you're an actor. So you audition and audition and audition, and you get a tiny percentage of the things that you actually try out for. So anyway, I was in Kuala Lumpur, actually, and my agent emailed me. I was traveling, and he said, can you record something on your iPad and email it? And so I did. I kind of hunkered down in like a duvet and a bunch of pillows in the hotel room to make a wee sound booth, and recorded a couple of lines that they sent me, and then that was it. And then I kind of forgot about it for a couple of weeks, and I was flying home, and he said, okay, you're recording tomorrow, you got the gig. I went, great. And at that point, I didn't know. I figured she was just going to be in one episode, because that's what seems to be the case with most, guest characters on the show. They're in 1 or 2 things, and then that's it. So,
Right, because Jason mentioned earlier that they actually didn't have the plan originally to bring back Starlight Glimmer for as long as they did. They thought maybe it was just going to be the one at the season premiere, but
right.
it ended up being now the main recurring.
Yeah. Lucky me. So I held out for the right one, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, and that's the case with most, that's how I get most roles I play. I audition for them, and you just put it out into the universe, kind of forget about it, and sometimes you get them. Yeah. By the way, for any of you who doesn't know, my name is Kelly Sheridan, and I play Starlight Glimmer on the show. And I also play Sassy Saddles and Misty Fly, who's one of the Wonderbolts, and a couple of other characters. But yeah, so that's who I am. Anybody else have a question? Yeah. Thank you, Microphone Sherpa. This gentleman here in my Hi.
All right, so I asked this to Peter and Jason. Well, you are Starlight Glimmer, but Starlight Glimmer goes back in time in your life and like changes like your path in life, so that you don't become a voice actor, you don't get into entertainment at all. What else would you be doing?
Whoa. I don't know. I joke that it's the only thing I know how to do. So I'm not sure what I would be doing. I think I'd probably be working with animals, maybe. I'd probably be running a shelter or something like that. I don't think I could be a vet. I think that would be too hard. It would be too sad sometimes. But I think running like a non-profit animal shelter, something like that would be.
Do you have any pets now?
I don't now. I had a cat. I had a cat for 11 years. And no, so I babysit other people's pets. We live in a building with people have lots of cats. So. Yeah, Fluttershy is my favorite. A strong animal affinity. My OC has a little paw print cutie mark. So, yeah. I like the animals. There's a lady walking around the con yesterday with a kitten. Did you guys see her? No. I left my autograph room. I was like, I got it! I'll be right back! And then always so cute! Oh, fluffy. I mean, what? Yeah. it's a kitten. Oh, okay. She'll be back. She'll be back. Yeah. Who else? Anyone else have a question?
I have another fun question.
We're going back and forth now.
You and you! Nobody else was asking. Hey, I'm just curious, what music do you like to listen to?
Pretty eclectic taste in music. I like jazz, and I like hip-hop, and I love earwormy top 40, like pop candy type music, like whatever the hit song of the summer is. I love songs like that. And I love Stevie Wonder and Prince and oh gosh, Bjork. It's very, yeah, if you take a look at my iTunes playlist, it's pretty wackadoodle. And then show tunes, Broadway. Yeah, a little bit of Metallica sometimes. Yeah. Did you have a question in the red shirt there?
Not a question so much as you say that these new voices are you, but to some of us, you'll always be Ukyo.
Oh, thank you. Does anyone else watch Ranma? Ranma One Half? Yeah. It's an anime from years ago. I played a character named Ukyo in that show. She had a giant spatula. Hello.
Hi. What did you think of the Gala last night?
Oh, the gala was amazing. Were you all there? I know I saw some of you there. Yeah, it was fantastic. Tony was there. Tony was really there. He was in the show. It was awesome. Yeah, it was so fun to see that take on the show, and I thought it was really well structured, having like dance and hangout breaks where people get to like, party and interact with each other. I thought that was on. The food was good. It was super fun. It was awesome. I love the party. So I tweeted about it. Jason, Deason, and I shared a table. Some other lovely people. Yeah. Took some tweets. Do you guys have a question? Yep. This fellow's over here.
What was the weirdest contract you ever took?
The weirdest what?
Contract.
Role, I guess.
Oh, the weirdest role? There's been some weird ones. Well, I was talking about this yesterday. I'm in Sausage Party, the new Seth Rogen cartoon. I have like 4 lines. It's a blink and you miss me? Blink? I don't know. You'll still be able to hear me if you blink, I guess. But yeah, that one was pretty weird. Playing talking swearing food is weird. That was pretty fun. And that process was really neat. Nicole Oliver is in that as well. A bunch of other pony people. Marika Hendricks, who plays Gilda. We're the 3 women that they cast in Vancouver to play a bunch of, like all the little auxiliary food. So none of us have big roles. It's all just little bits and pieces all over the place. Ian Corlett is in that. Vincent Tong. Sam Vincent, who plays Flim or Flam. I can't remember which one. One of the Flam? Yep. Oh, Flim. He's in it. Yeah, a bunch of people. So that one was pretty fun and pretty weird. I don't normally get to swear that much. Especially when you're doing cartoons aimed at younger audiences. You don't really get to swear that much. So. That's fun. Fun to get paid to do that. I haven't seen it yet, though. I hear it's funny. Yeah. Ellen the bow tie has a question. Oh. Sorry,
So, Starlight Glimmer shot to the top of my charts as one of my favorite characters at the end of season 5 and beginning of season 6. I was wondering, which of her characteristics do you feel you embody as well, or her motivations or feelings?
Well, I think I have a tendency to be a little bossy sometimes. That's something that I try to work on. If I was being generous with myself, I'd say, oh, I'm a good leader. That can translate into being bossy sometimes. And I think I relate to her insecurity as well, you know, but being good at something but kind of not believing that you are, not just trusting yourself. I think I can do that at times. I think we all can, probably. But in a lot of ways, she isn't like me, which is fun. It's fun to play a character that's different, challenging. Yeah. Obviously the same hairstyle. Both times. No, I could never rock bangs. My hair's too curly, naturally. I would look silly with bangs. What do you guys think? New hairstyle, old hairstyle? Show of hands. Old hairstyle. Yeah. New hairstyle? Yeah, I think rarity had something to do with that, probably. Did you have a question?
I did.
Oh, yes, hi.
What upcoming projects do you have going on?
The things that have aired that I can talk about, well, Sausage Party, I can talk about now. I'm on a Netflix show called Lolly Rock that's airing on Netflix. I believe it's also, because I'm Canadian, so we get different Netflix than you guys. So I think it's airing, or it's streaming on Netflix here as well. And that Kazumi Evans is in that, Tabitha St. Germain, Ashley Ball, Vincent Tong, and a whole bunch of guest stars that you will recognize from Homies. So that's fun. I play a bad guy in that one. I've seen a lot of bad guys lately. It's kind of fun. Vincent Tong and I play evil superhero twins, and we're always kind of, we don't get along. We're always kind of nattering at each other and kind of yelling at each other. He's sort of like a dopey doofus, and I'm kind of a, jerky big sister. So, and that's about, it's kind of Sailor Moon-esque. It's about 3 princess, alien, pop star superheroes who fight evil and are trying to reclaim their kingdoms from this big bad guy called Greymore. So that's on Netflix. What else? I'm trying to think of what's actually come out yet. Yeah. Hi ladies, thanks for coming. That's come out. Those are the only things I can talk about. Yeah, there's stuff coming up, but you'll have to stay tuned for that. They make us sign these non-disclosure agreements. I'm not allowed to talk about stuff, so it's actually happening. Anyone else? Yes? I'm loving Florida. I don't think I'm built for the heat. That's the one thing.
All last week, so you missed that.
Yeah, that's good. I'm going to the theme parks next week, when the convention's over, so that'll be fun. So think of me when I'm melting in Disney World.
Lots of sunscreen and lots of water.
Yeah. Do you guys have any tips for Disney World or Universal? Any favorites or any
Get fast passes.
fast passes?
Yeah, make sure you book them in advance. Be very smart about it.
Oh.
If you go to Peter Pan's Flight or It's a Small World, come see me. Drop the name Bethany. I will get you.
Excellent. Thank you.
And if you go to Universal, try the butterbeer at the Heritage.
Oh yeah, butterbeer's on the list for sure. We're gonna see.
Frozen, not liquid.
I like liquid.
Oh.
I like
Some
liquid more.
people like liquid, but most people prefer frozen.
I prefer the
No.
Most people prefer frozen.
Oh, we're gonna have a frozen versus liquid debate.
Yeah, the hot one's excellent as well, but not this time of year, so go for frozen.
Right.
Either, yeah, I just don't like the hot one at all. So
Like
get
two
either
days
one.
in January.
Well, I'm going with a friend, so maybe one of us will get frozen and one of us will get liquid. Anthony, did you have a question?
Have you tried visiting SeaWorld or Aquatic Park?
No, but, well, I only have 2 extra days, so I might just do Universal one day and Disney World the next day. And then the next time I come back to Florida, I'll do other stuff. Disney World would be fun.
I mean, you got Busch Gardens.
Of course, I know, there's so much fun stuff to do here.
Yeah, Busch Gardens.
But it's incentive to come back.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. I haven't been here since I was a kid. We went to Disney World and Epcot.
You got the Coco Coasters.
There's
That
so
was
much
a long
you
time
can do.
ago.
If you can get fast passes for like Seven Dwarfs, that's one of the longest lines, definitely try to do that.
Right.
And then like
So
Peter
no matter what time of year fast passes, you would say, right?
Yeah, any
Regardless.
time of year for Seven Dwarfs right now because it's our newest attraction, but especially right now because it's the summer, it's very busy.
Right.
So unless you want to wait like an hour and a half.
I
Like,
do not want to wait an hour and a
yeah,
half.
exactly. But other than that, you should be okay.
Did you have a question in the back, or you want to talk about Disney World? Could be either.
I did have a question I totally forgot.
Oh, that's okay.
Oh, yes, I remember.
Yes.
It's a 2-part question.
Yeah.
Were you aware of the fandom when you were hired to voice
I was, yeah. That's the nice thing about coming into the show so late, is that all of my friends were already on the show, and so they'd come to conventions, they'd met you guys, and they'd heard all about you, so the fandom wasn't a surprise. In fact, every audition I had for the show was like, please, I want to be on the show so badly. I want to be part of the fun, part of the club. Yeah, so I was totally aware of you guys, and you have a good reputation with the cast and crew back home. And it's become a show that everybody wants to get on, because everyone wants to meet you guys and come to the conventions and hang out. So yeah, you have a good reputation. Yes?
So you said you auditioned for like some of the main six. Which ones did you go for?
I think I read for all of them. I think they particularly wanted me to read for Twilight and Pinky and Rarity. Probably most similar to the roles I would normally play. But of course they made the right decision. I mean, I can't imagine anyone playing those roles other than the women who already play them. And, you know, all things in their time. So I think I got the right role for me at the right time. And yeah, I'm happy to play Starlight. Yes?
At what point did you realize that she was going to be a recurring major character? Did you know when you started recording the first episode or season finale, or was it not until after that you realized this character is going to have a long life?
Probably not until the first few episodes of season 6. When I went, she seems to be around a lot. I'm in the first few episodes, and Jim was like, yeah, you'll be around. So yeah, I figured after season 5 that would be it for her, that maybe we'd see her once in a blue moon again, you know, Twilight would come and visit or something would happen. But yeah, it's been a great surprise for me, which always goes, you never know as an actor. You know, you just show up and you do your work that day, and sometimes amazing things happen. So I feel really lucky. It's pretty special to be involved as much as I have been. Yes?
I don't know if you're allowed to comment, but since you said you'd audition for the main 6, would you mind giving us like an impression of how you would have voiced one of them, or?
Oh, I don't think I can do that. I don't even know. It's going to sound so weird here. And you know what? It was over 5 years ago, or 6 years ago. I don't even remember. Twilight probably would have been very close to who Starlight is now, because you know, she's sort of the straight man of the group. Although she's very funny, she doesn't have one of those kind of broad, charactery voices that all the other characters do. So she'd probably be pretty close to, you know, with Starlight. Although Starlight's she can be kind of sarcastic and dry, and I think she differs from Twilight in that way. Yeah, I couldn't even begin to match what the actresses who already play them do. None of us could possibly imagine them with any other voices, right? Pretty amazing. Did you remember the second half of your?
Oh, you answered it before.
Oh, I did.
But I did think of another question.
Okay, sure.
If you were a pony, what would your female be? And your child?
Well, as I mentioned, my OC is a little paw print. I don't know if I have I think I have a special ability when it comes to animals, particularly animals that are scared or kind of traumatized. I think I'm good with them. I don't know if I'm really good at it though. Probably a microphone, maybe. Something like that. Yeah. Yeah, I had a lot of fun designing my OC. A woman, she's Cool Gary on Twitter. We did like a Skype conference, and she designed it for me. We collaborated back and forth, and she'd draw something and then send it to me. And I'd say, yeah, that's great. And then she'd send me a bunch of colors, like we talked about color, just send me a bunch of options and pick a couple. And yeah, it was fun. It took about an hour, but it was really cool. Yes? I think they're wonderful friends.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Hang out with
I think they're great. Ian Hanlon, who plays him, is wonderful. He's a really great actor, super fun to work with, really neat guy. Yeah, I think, I hope we see more of them together. I think that's an interesting combo. They both have such they both complement each other so well. Their strengths are so complementary. So it'd be cool to see, you know, what they can accomplish together. Hopefully we'll get to see that.
Kind of on that note, I've always enjoyed how My Little Pony can incorporate male-female friendships. Like so many other shows have characters like male and female. Obviously, there's going to be some romance there, but My Little Pony's great with saying like, yes, boys and girls can just be friends.
Yeah.
Just because they're on screen together, it doesn't mean that they're gonna be like in a romantic thing. However, if like some characters, it doesn't even have to be male and female. If some characters were to get together, if the show decided to take it a little bit in that direction, what pairings might you like to see?
Oh, you're asking me shit? No.
She knows.
I don't know. Do you guys have any ideas? We're getting into dangerous territory.
I like very
I don't know. I think that. Oh wow, yeah, that'd be amazing. Hey, yeah, it'd be amazing to see like villains, like villain romances. That'd be kind of crazy. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of like the romances we already have, like Cadence and Shining Armor. I think that's really cool. It's been cool to see their evolution as a couple.
Rainbow Dash in a kitchen sink.
Rainbow Dash in a kitchen sink. Yes?
It's good that you did work on G3. What exactly involves in
In G3, I played, it's so hard for me to keep them straight. Which one was G3? Cotton Candy, I believe? Was that G3? You guys know?
That's the one the Bronies have pretty much decided that's the one that we don't watch.
Yeah, I know, I've heard, yeah. Which is fine, that's cool, you don't have to like it. And I played Cheerilee in an incarnation of My Little Pony. I don't know if it was G3 or not, but she sounds nothing like Nicole's Cheerilee and was not really a similar character. I think those were the two, I'm pretty sure. You'd have to check my IMDb page, it would say on there. Yeah, but they were fun shows to do. They're very different, but that just, they're fun to do as an actor. They're always really cute and sweet. And, just a different show than this one, which is also cute and sweet, just in a different way. Yeah. Yes?
You talked about weird shows, but for you, what were maybe some of your more memorable shows and why? Or things you worked with? What is that for you?
One of my favorite things I ever did was a motion comic of Joss Whedon's Astonishing X-Men run. And that was really special. I played Hisako on that one. She's one of the students of the academy. And her mutant powers, she turns into like a giant, she's Japanese, she turns into a giant animated robot. She's like this big kind of bubble suit thing. It's super cool. Anyway, she has super strength. And she becomes Wolverine's her mentor, so you can imagine the shenanigans they get into. He unwillingly becomes her mentor. She kind of follows him around. But that was a really special one to do because I love Joss Whedon. I love everything he's ever done, and it was really, and I'd read the comics, and it was just a super exciting project to be part of. And it was one of those projects that bounced around in town. Like they were going to do it at one studio, then it kind of didn't happen, and then a year went by, and another studio said they were going to do it. So it was one of those things that we all kept auditioning for and hoping that it was going to happen. So that was fun, and the scripts were really fun because they were his original scripts to, I think the head illustrator for those, his name was David. Does anyone know those comics? David something. Anyway, but do you know? You look like you knew from me. Here you go. It's okay. So the scripts were Joss Whedon's original scripts for him to animate the panels. And there are all these little Joss Whedon-y side notes, in the stage directions that are just him making jokes. And so we got to read those. Like that's the script we got, which was pretty incredible. And also it was this special little insider peek into this thing that I don't think anyone else has seen. That was a really special project. And the first Barbie movie that I did, I played Barbie in the majority of Mattel's animated features. So the first one I did starred Tim Curry as well, so I got to work with Tim Curry, who's one of my idols, and that was pretty amazing. I don't get starstruck often, but you know, when you meet people whose work you really, really admire, there's one moment where, and I was determined to play it cool. I was like, I'm going to be nice and normal. I'm not going to fangirl all over Tim Curry, even though I've seen Clue 50 gabillion times. And can quote every line from, you know, that he says in the movie. And so I was doing a really good job, and halfway through the day, we were in a scene together. When you do voiceover, you don't often really look at each other. You're reading off of a page, so it's not theatrical in the sense of you're like, ooh, you're playing a scene with someone. But he was delivering a monologue, and I looked up, and he was staring right at me, talking to me. And I had this moment, like, oh my God, I want to sing with Tim Curry! Just like, it was amazing. It completely took me out of work at the moment. It was just incredible. So those were two pretty special ones. What's that?
How excited were you when you met Tim Curry?
I was so excited. I mean, as I said, I tried to play it cool. We talked about Chinese food because we were in an area of town. The studio was in Chinatown. He's like, oh, I'll go for Chinese food after this. He's like, where should I go? So we're talking about that. And he has a godson who lives in Vancouver, which is where we recorded the movie. And so I tried very hard to have a normal conversation with him, but I was super excited. That whole day I thought I was going to be fired because it was just such a dream come true that I thought there's no way it could actually happen because it's too amazing. And then it did. And they didn't fire me, and they asked me back to do another one. And then I got to work with him again about 10 years later. He was the villain in Barbie and the Three Musketeers, or is it Four Musketeers? Can't remember. I mean, it's three in the...
Barbie plus the Three Musketeers.
Yeah, I think it might be four in the movie. Right. Anywho, he was the villain in that, so I got to see him again. And he remembered me. He was so lovely. He's awesome. It's nice when you meet your idols and they're nice people. They're still nice. Yeah, that was cool. You did?
Have you done any video game work, like voices for video games?
A little bit. I don't enjoy doing them all that much, to be honest, because they're interesting. They're really hard on your voice, particularly if they're anything that involves fighting. It's a lot of screaming. The scripts are humongous. So most of the men that I work with in Vancouver, voiceover actors, they do a lot of video games because there just aren't a lot of women in video games. There are some, but they're disproportionately small amount. And so they do quite a few video games, and a lot of them don't really enjoy it either because you just think they're a voice wrecker. And it's just
do like a billion take for everything.
Yeah, exactly. So I've done a couple of Barbie video games. Those are civilized. Those are fine. Barbie doesn't do a lot of screaming. So it's a lot of like, let's go over and pet the horse. Pick up 3 carrots. Put them in the basket. There's a lot of that stuff. Pick up the blue gem. Pick up the red gem. Pick up the pink gem. Pick up the So yeah. So that's okay. And then we did a, hi guys, come on in.
Hi.
Are you here for the special day?
Yeah.
Amazing. There's going to be a wedding immediately after this. Do you guys all know that?
Yeah.
Isn't that incredible? It's awesome. So, yeah, and then I did an Inuyasha video game, and that was a lot of screaming, because there's a lot of fighting in that one. But yeah, video games are really big and hefty, because they need to record all of the options that, your character goes on. So, there's a lot of extra stuff that you don't normally have to record. Yes, sir?
If Starlight Glimmer became a princess of Equestria, what would she be the princess of?
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, I was trying to think of what her special ability is. Like, can two ponies have the same special ability? Because Twilight's is magic. And I imagine Starlight's would be something similar. But I don't know. I think she's a long way from becoming a princess. If and when that ever happens, which it very well might not.
There's 3 more seasons at least.
Right. So, I don't know. She's probably going to really evolve, hopefully, over the next while. And I don't know. I don't know where she's going to end up. I was saying this yesterday, I trust that whatever it is, the writers will come up with something that'll be surprising and interesting to all of us. So they're probably not going to give you what you're hoping for or what you expect, which is why they're good at their jobs. Yes?
Yeah. You remember the exercise from yesterday, right?
Yes. Good guy, bad guy?
I wonder could you do something like that again, but with a different line?
Sure. Okay, so does everyone know what good guy, bad guy is? So I have a line, and I have to deliver it as a good guy, and then I have to deliver it as a bad guy.
Oh, yeah.
So yesterday it was something like, goodness, how it's so sunny out today, or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder could you say the line at the bad Starlight line. Now it's my turn to take something special from you. First as
As a good guy.
yeah, first as a bad guy, then
Yeah.
as a good guy.
Oh, the good guy's going to be challenging. That's going to be interesting. Okay. That guy. Now it's my turn to take something special from you. And that's bad guy. Good guy. Now it's my turn to take something special from you. Imagine a good guy wouldn't feel very good about having to take something special.
Context is everything.
Yes.
And then, out of the main six, who do you think Starlight would get along the most with?
It depends on the context, but I think probably maybe Rainbow Dash, maybe. I don't think Starlight likes talking about her feelings very much. I think Rainbow would probably be most like similar to her in that way. I don't think she could keep up with her energy-wise, but they could do some like lounging by the lake together on a chaise or something. Starlight might find it interesting from a from an investigative perspective to like watch Rainbow, you know, manipulate the weather. I think she might find that kind of cool. But I think she's friends with all of them. I think she also needs to do some work on finding her own friends, you know, like forging her own friendships. I think she has a good base with the Mix Six, but it'll be interesting to see if she's able to make different friends on her own. You know, we've seen her make a friend in Trixie. So I think her taste in friends probably differs quite dramatically from Twilight's, which is interesting.
Have you seen the Equestria Girls movies, any of them?
I've seen all of them. Yeah, well, the first three. I haven't seen the. The newest one isn't out yet. Yeah.
How do you like them?
I like them. They're really. I think they're different in a lot of ways from the TV show, but I really like the music. And it's funny. I always watch stuff that, even not necessarily that I'm in, but that my friends are in. I watch it probably with a different perspective than you guys do. I watch it. I enjoy them, but I also watch them from kind of a technical standpoint, or I'm interested to hear performances people give, or how. I worked on the third one. I played Lightning, Indigo Zap. Are we gonna win? So it was fun. It's always fun to see how they turn out and what people do. So that's kind of, I enjoyed it from that perspective. Yeah. Did you have a question?
My question was, you stated before that Starlight was going to eventually make more friends on her own, but given that she had difficulty with Trixie through Twilight past with her, how far do you think Starlight could go to make her own friendship without interference, per se?
Interference from Twilight? I don't know. I guess, I'm not sure. I think at this point, I think Twilight learned an important lesson in that episode, just like Trixie did and Starlight did. It's sort of been interesting, all three of them kind of learned a lesson. And we're never perfect after we learn a lesson, but hopefully we're better. And so I think maybe, hopefully Twilight would give her the space to make the right decision, make the right friends. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. I'm being very careful about what I'm saying. There's a lot of episodes that haven't aired yet. Yes?
I'm glad to hear that you've seen all the Electric Girl movies. There's some very obvious similarities between Sunset Shimmer and Starlight Glimmer.
Yeah.
How do you
All
feel
the Immers.
would interact if they...
I think they'd like each other. Don't you guys think?
Yeah.
They're similar. Yeah, they're similar in a lot of ways. Yeah. Now that they're reformed, I think pre-Reformation, although you know what, actually pre-Reformation, they'd probably get along pretty well too. And that would not be good for anybody.
Who would win in a fight though?
Sunset or Starlight? Well, Starlight's really the best, isn't she? No. They would never fight. Yeah, they would never fight. Those two. They'd talk it out. Twilight would make them.
That's really good.
Yes?
Now that you are becoming a much more, main character, has there been any discussion whether you'll be in the future Equestria Girls movies? I assume that they keep making them.
I don't know. You'd have to ask the people that are making them. My rule of thumb is I don't talk about stuff that hasn't aired, so I guess we'll wait and see. It'd be cool to see human Starlight. Neat to see how they design her, what she looks like. Yes?
Sort of Starlight or which Starlight?
She was super fun to play when she was a villain. I mean, that's just so fun as an actor.
Yeah, that's usually...
But it's nice getting to play her now that she's reformed, because she's really, I find she's complex and she struggles, which is interesting to play as an actor as well. So, yeah, both. I've always liked villains though, like even just as an audience member. It's so fun when you see, that's one of the reasons I love Tim Curry. He plays amazing villains. Like it's so fun to see someone really indulge in a villainous side, and for to see well-written villains. That's fun too.
We're going to do 2 more questions?
2 more questions?
More.
Okay, 2 more.
So, who's your favorite My Little Pony villain then?
Oh, my favorite pony
Besides
villain. Probably Discord, if he counts as a villain, right?
Yes.
Yeah, he's not, because he's definitely not a hero all the time. Yeah, because he's so, again, John Delancey's amazing, and he's such a delightful villain. That's such a fun character. Why don't we take these 2 more at the back, because I feel like you guys haven't had a chance to ask a question yet. Yes?
I was wondering, how do you guys feel about the Brony shippings in general?
I can't speak for the other voice actors, but I think that's something for you guys to enjoy as fans, and it's probably best for me, as someone working on the show, to decline to participate. Did you have a question?
When Starlight will have that time travel spell, if there was another one last outcome, like the Wasteland and the Motel,
Yeah.
what would have been the very, very last play?
Well, I don't know. A barren wasteland is pretty final, but yeah. Who did we not see who would have been cool? I don't know about the final one, but there's lots.
Sandwich.
The smooth just slobbers all over everything. Everything's green and sticky. That's pretty final. That's pretty final. They're all just swimming around in green. On that note, it's a cool note to end on. There's a wedding happening in here after. Is this is everyone invited?
Yeah.
So you're all invited. It's an actual wedding. Two wonderful people are actually marrying each other, which is fantastic. I'm headed off to autographs upstairs on the 2nd floor, so I've got a food out right after this. I'd love to stay and chat, but I've got to scurry out those doors. So if you'd like to see me again, you can come upstairs to autographs. I'll be up there for an hour. And I think that's it. Thanks so much, guys. Enjoy your last few hours at the con. My pleasure.
And that's Kelly Sheridan, everybody. Give her another round of applause.
All right.
Transformers roll up. Bye.
Bye.